What's your take of Mr. Azar's visit to Taiwan?
Azar's meeting, his delegation is the highest ranked visit delegation since 1979. So it's meaningful to Taiwan. It means the outcome of the past years. We increase mutual cooperation and the relationship. Taiwan, as a member in Indo-Pacific, we fulfill democracy and we take a responsibility for the regional stability. So we regard the visit from United States, but led by Azar, it's a milestone for the past 40 years. And the second, it's a first case to practice the Taiwan Travel Act. Taiwan Travel Act allow Taiwan and the United States, the highest officer, for example, the president, vice president, our prime minister, in the past, is not allowed to visit Washington, D.C. Since passed the Taiwan Travel Act, the law allowed to visit each other, but we don't have the case to practice the act. So Azar's delegation means the first case to fulfill Taiwan Travel Act. And the other meaning is, in the past 40 years, Taiwan has been blockaded and isolated by Chinese Communist Party's influence. And this visit means the interference from CCP has been reduced a lot. It allowed Taiwan to act as a normal country. In the past at least 20 years, we are not allowed to join international society organization, even its non-politics organization. We are blockaded. But we hope since 2020, this unreasonable, unfair arrangement for Taiwan can be lifted.
But so looking at what's happening in this coming together between Taiwan and the US and bringing the relationship a bit closer, aren't you risking the ire of Beijing here? Aren't you really at the moment giving license to the hawks within the Communist Party?
We have been threatened by CCP for years. No matter Taiwan try to defend our family, our country, or Taiwan want to fulfill responsibility to the international society, China, they always condemn. They always using different kind of words or military activities to threat Taiwan. To us, to Taiwanese, CCP's threat or CCP's harsh words is our everyday normal situation. Actually, to Taiwan, we can contribute our capabilities. We are not relying on the others' help. Our IT capability, our intelligence chip, our public health, medical care, we have our own strength and advantage can share the world. China using politics reason to blockade Taiwan. It's not only the loss of Taiwan, but also its loss to the world. And at this moment, when Azar delegation visit Taiwan, Chinese PLA, they are using their air fighters to cross the middle line of Taiwan Strait. And the Taiwan Air Force, we are using our Air Force to get them away. And actually, for the past 6 months, there are dozen times of Chinese air fighters to harass Taiwan ADIZ. So we hope Beijing government can be a reasonable and a responsible neighbor country. Don't using this military way to bully neighbor country. It won't help to Asia. It won't help to China themselves.
You talk about closer relations between Taiwan and the U.S. Is there any clarity how far the U.S. is willing to go to support, to show its support for Taiwan? Is it willing to use military force if China were to attack?
I'm a member of National Defense Committee. In Taiwan, we think the responsibility to defend Taiwan is our own. We put the responsibility on our shoulders. We cannot rely on any other countries. But when friends want to help, we do appreciate it. We didn't count on my national security on United States commitment. However, Taiwan is this here. It meets the interest of the United States, meets the interest of the world. For example, we are the largest supplier, the IT chips. We are the largest supplier in many industrial supply chain. We are a reliable and a clean supplier. So once Taiwan can be secured and stabilized, this regional will be stabilized and secure too. There are three potential crises in this region. It's the China Sea, Taiwan Strait, and the South China Sea. And Taiwan all play important role in this area. So we didn't count on United States help. We want to cooperate with international communities to keep this region peace and prosperous. And the national defense capability is on our own. But actually, we do need some technology or some arm sale to shorten the gap between Taiwan and China. This year is 2020. China, they don't have enough capability to transport their troops to occupy Taiwan. But in the near future, maybe they will modernize their capability. So we do need increase Taiwan's own capability to defend that. And we want to have an international structure to maintain the status quo and the peace situation in this area.
Speaking of Taiwan's own capability, have you managed to convince the U.S. to upgrade your Patriot missile system? Any update on that?
Yeah. Actually, for the past 10 years, Taiwan is far behind in underwater capability. And our major battle tank, they are 40 years old. And our air fighters, they are 20 years old. So our equipment and our military battle system is out of our need. But for the past 4 years, our President Tsai she put a lot of efforts and the budget in improving our battle system, our weapons, and try to reform and make our militaries, their equipment and life better. For example, we will obtain M1A2T major battle tank in 2023. And our own made submarines, the first one will be tested in 2023. And we will obtain the newest F-16V in 2023. And our old model F-16AB, now we are upgrade them to F-16V. We have dozens of old air fighters now has achieved upgrade. So this gap between Taiwan military and the PLA, we are shortening that. And so not only in the military way, we all believe in Taiwan, democracy will be our best weapon. Taiwan is a democracy, freedom, and we value human rights. This kind of value is our daily life. We think this difference between Taiwan and China is the best protection to Taiwan. We are using our hardware or military. We are using our democracy value to deal with our difficulties, confront China.
Ting-yu, how closely are you watching events here in Hong Kong, and what's your takeaway from that? And what does it mean for the 1992 One China principle as well? Does it now need to be more clearly delineated?
Hong Kong to Taiwanese, it's tragedy and a warning. You know, CCP, they are using Hong Kong as a showcase, try to lure Taiwan, accept one country, two systems. However, since 1997, Hong Kong stepped into one China. That means Hong Kong has given up the freedom of option. So we can see the past several years, the one country, two system is extinguished. So the past few days, they arrest the next media, the media reporters and the owners. They destroy the freedom of media, and they using the Hong Kong national security law to destroy the right to speak out on the street, to protest. So to Taiwan, we are so familiar with Hong Kong. You know, in the world, only Hong Kong and Taiwan using the traditional Chinese caricature. It's quite different with Chinese simplified caricatures. And there are thousands of Hong Kong students in Taiwan. In Taiwan, we watch Hong Kong soap opera. In Hong Kong, they listen to the singer from Taiwan. So we have close relationship. That's why China using Hong Kong as a lure to show Taiwan one country, two systems. It works. However, CCP, they destroy one country, two system themselves. So in Taiwan, a lot of people say Hong Kong's situation is a warning to Taiwan's future. If we give up our own national defense, our sovereignty, our own democracy, go into Hong Kong model, our future, our kids, our children will live Hong Kong-like life. It's miserable. So in Taiwan, we try to help Hong Kong protesters, especially those young kids, as much as possible. And we are using Hong Kong as a lesson to let Taiwanese people understand you can never trust communists.